My name's Dennis Sullivan. When you're seeking a divorce, it's necessary to file a lawsuit called a petition for divorce. It's highly advisable to hire a lawyer to help you and to represent you in your divorce matter. I'm asked many times what a divorce costs. Unfortunately, there is no easy answer to that question. The average cost of an attorney for a divorce is more than $15,000. Of course, if everything is agreed upon between the spouses, you can lower your costs. This would mean that you and your spouse are able to agree on how all of the assets and bank accounts will be divided, how all of the retirement accounts will be split up, who will live in the house, or how the proceeds of a sale will be divided, as well as who pays for the house and related expenses until the house is sold. Children present other unique issues, but if you can agree on child custody, visitation, and child support, and if your agreements are reasonable and fair and within the guidelines as set out by the state, you'll be able to lower the final cost of your divorce. Unfortunately, spouses being able to agree on everything is very rare. In planning for your divorce and the cost of it, there are circumstances that simply result in higher than average costs. When these circumstances are present, you can expect your divorce to cost over the average cost. Marriages that have high value assets or a large amount of assets or several different types of complex investment tools usually result in extensive research and review of those assets, which leads to normally intensive negotiations in an attempt to reach a consensus on the value of those assets and how those assets can or should be divested and distributed. These complex assets could also have some tax consequences, which also need to be addressed by the parties. Many marriages have family businesses. These businesses have a value based on the financial health of the business, along with the business's assets and liabilities. However, businesses often have the intangible asset of goodwill, name recognition, and reputation. Sometimes, however, reputation and name recognition is related more to one of the spouses rather than the business as a whole. The determination of the value for such intangibles often causes disagreements and agitation between the spouses and can result in extra discussions and discovery in the case. Another cause of divorce costs to rise is when the spouse is engaged in extreme hostility over child custody, child visitation, and child support issues. While the child custody, visitation, and support issues are very important issues and at times deserve very aggressive action, there are times when the fight over child custody, visitation, and support is not strictly focused on what is best for the children, but instead uses the child custody, visitation, and support issues to attack the other spouse, or these issues are engaged in order to inflict harm on the other spouse, or in an attempt to show that the other spouse is not a worthy parent, or simply to inflict as much pain on them as possible. You do not need negative intentions to cause a child custody, visitation, and support fight to result in an increase in your costs. When a child has special needs, parents often have their own thoughts as to what is best for the child, and these disagreements are aired through the divorce proceeding. Issues regarding religion and schooling are a common issue that causes intense disagreements between the spouses. These intense disagreements usually result in an increase of your divorce costs. When spouses are aggressive towards each other during the divorce, in that they decide to fight and delay everything, costs rise. When spouses resist exchanging information, costs rise. When one spouse simply hopes to delay the divorce in hopes the divorce can be avoided, costs rise. If you are contemplating divorce and you believe that any of these issues may arise in your divorce with your spouse, you may want to attempt to discuss these issues with your spouse, if possible, so that you can attempt to keep costs reasonable. Even if you are unsuccessful in reaching an agreement with your spouse, you can head into the divorce with the knowledge that you tried to save costs and with the knowledge that the divorce may likely exceed the average cost of $15,000. The lawyers at Stepp Sullivan are here to help you with any paternity or family legal issues you have. We are more than happy to meet with you in person, but can also meet with you through Zoom, Skype, or simply on the telephone. If we can answer any questions, or if you need any additional information, we're here for you. We make serving our clients the most important thing we do every day. At Stepp Sullivan, we make it personal, powerful,